We are continuing to follow breaking news out of southern Brazil, where a plane carrying 62 people has crashed. We're going to show you some new video into our newsroom, a warning some may find it hard to watch. So what you're seeing here is video of the plane during the descent. You can see it sort of spiraling and spinning in the air there before there's a plume of smoke in some of these videos. Here's another look at it. Here's what we know at this hour. The aircraft went down in a residential area in the city of Venado. The airline says of the 62 people, 58 are passengers, 4 are crew members. Still not clear what caused the plane to crash or whether anyone survived. Here's what we know about the flight. It took off from Cascavel Airport in the southwestern part of the country. It's a regional airport. It was headed for the Sao Paulo Guarulhos Airport, which is the busiest airport in the country and not far from Venado. Here's more video into the newsroom showing what looks to be a fire truck and an ambulance, some emergency responders here in Venado. At an event today, the Brazilian president asked the crowd to observe a moment of silence, saying that it appeared all passengers and crew aboard had died. I want to go to CBS News aviation safety analyst and former NTSB chair Robert Sumwalt here with us now. Robert, you've seen some of the videos that we've been showing as well. What do you make of them? What can you deduce from them?
Certainly what this looks like is the airplane had an aerodynamic stall. And what that means is simply the airflow across the wings was no longer sufficient to keep the airplane flying. And after the stall, it goes into what we would call an aerodynamic spin.
So essentially, excuse the language, but essentially it's just falling out of the sky?
Well, really, that's the truth. The airplane no longer has sufficient airflow, and so the airplane is no longer aerodynamically flying.
You know, from the information that I've been able to find from the website FlightAware, it's a flight tracking service. This is, again, we can tell it was coming from a regional airport to this busy international airport in Sao Paulo. This was a twin turbo prop plane. What can you tell us about the type of aircraft here? It looks like it was an ATR-72.
That's right. The ATR-72 is manufactured in France. It has historically had a good safety record. 30 years ago, it did have an icing-related accident in outside of Chicago in Illinois, and so Indiana actually. So it generally has a good safety record. They made improvements after that crash in Indiana.
Now, we know that the president has said it appears that there are no survivors. Have you ever seen a situation like this in which we see that video of the spin, the loss of aerodynamics, and then we see the subsequent crash and plume of smoke, that a descent like this could lend to any survivors?
Yeah, I'm really sorry to say I don't see how this could be a survivable crash at all. If the crash itself were not a fatal jolt, the post-crash fire would be unfortunately fatal.
We know this is a residential area. We're seeing homes in the video that we're showing right now, so we're working to gather more information as well on what, if any, effects there are on the ground. How does an investigation into something like this begin?
Well, this will be an international investigation. As you know, the plane crashed in Brazil. So the Brazilian authorities, SANIPA as they are known, they are the Air Crash Investigation Authority of Brazil. They will lead the investigation. The airplane, as I mentioned, is manufactured in France, so the French authorities will be involved. The engines are manufactured in Canada, so the Canadian authorities will be involved also.
Okay, we're continuing to gather more information on this breaking news. A plane carrying 62 people crashes in a residential area not far from its destination airport. You see there on the map. Robert Sumwalt, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your expertise.